Hi guys, welcome to Adam McKola TV. I'm Adam. This is the Champions League Group A draw reaction video. Now the draw happened about an hour ago. I've just got in from the United Road podcast. We've did a podcast today. That will be up tonight. I did a video with the lads earlier called the Transfer Window Report, where we looked at all of Manchester United signings this summer, including the re-signing of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So all the reaction to our transfer window and to Zlatan Ibrahimovic signing is in that video, which was up earlier, and you can check that out straight after we are finished here. But as I was saying, this is a quick stream to talk about the Champions League group draw, which has been very, very favourable to Manchester United. I've got to say that it has been very favourable. Now, I've reacted to this group. Benfica from Pot A, where we could have got the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus. Obviously, we were in Pot B. Basel in Pot 3, which could have been Napoli. CSKA Moscow, a difficult trip to Moscow, but nevertheless, that draw could have been worse in Pot 4 as well. You had the likes of RB Leipzig in there. So every single group or every single pot that we could have drawn a team from, Manchester United have drawn a side that is looking better than some of the others in there. Now, I reacted on Twitter saying this is a good draw for Manchester United and I would be worried if we didn't go through. So look, you have to pay respect to Benfica, Basel and CSKA Moscow. Manchester United fans have told me we've gone out in similar groups or worse groups than that before. And Basel have knocked us out in the past as well. And I can remember a dreadful trip to Benfica under Sir Alex Ferguson. I think, was it 2005 maybe? So we have been knocked out in groups that we've deemed easy before in the past. But what I'm trying to say is, if this group isn't satisfying Manchester United fans, then I would be a little bit worried. And if Manchester United fans are worried by this group, then that would worry me. If we don't go through, that would worry me too. So what I'm trying to say is, this group is very, very favourable to Manchester United. And you look at some of the other decisions in terms of the groups and all that stuff, and you're looking at the likes of Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Tottenham and Apoel. You're looking at Spartak Moscow, Sevilla, Liverpool, Maribor. So Liverpool have got a decent group. Chelsea have got a solid group as well. Chelsea, Atletico, Roma, Karabag. Bayern Munich's group is pretty tasty as well. Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Anderlecht and Celtic. Then you're looking at Juve, Barca, Olympiacos and Sporting. Sorry, Barca were in our pot. So that's a strong group as well. And Manchester City are in a good group, but they do have the difficult challenge of Napoli. So I think Liverpool and Manchester United are the sides that have got the best draw out of the English teams. Of course, we still have all the work to do. We've got a trip to Portugal, a trip to Switzerland and a trip to Russia. So the trips could have been worse in terms of, we could have got more difficult trips, but that Moscow trip is of course a difficult one if that's in the winter as well. But like Asmar's saying, it is a great draw. Who do you think will be our toughest game, says Tony? Probably Benfica away, I can imagine, would be our toughest game in that group. But what do you guys think? Liverpool got lucky, said Josh. Liverpool, I think they were at a point where they got drawn and they could have been in the Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund group, but they got the Sevilla and Spartak Moscow group. So it was very, very close for Liverpool as well. Who got the group of death? I would have to say Tottenham or Anderlecht. Because Anderlecht have got Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain and Celtic. Juventus, Barca, Sporting, Olympiacos. That's another strong group. But Real, Borussia Dortmund and Spurs. That is a very, very difficult group. But to be honest, if Spurs actually sort out their home form, I think they could go through second in that group. So I don't think it's as bad as some people are making out. But overall, the Champions League group is fantastic for Manchester United, as you can see there. And I'm going to dive into your comments as well and get some of your thoughts on the draw. Moscow away is tricky, says Sriram. Spurs are fucked, says Prashant. Benfica, only tough game, says Kieran. Ibra's back, 1-1-0-0 incoming, says 94. He's saying, I don't think it will be, to be fair. I think Zlatan Ibrahimovic isn't going to be relied on as much as he was. So when he does play, he'll be fresher than he was last season. And I think he could be a masterstroke by Jose Mourinho in bringing him back in terms of experience, in terms of leadership quality, in terms of that winning mentality. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has that. And we lost a lot of experience in the last couple of years. Most recently, Wayne Rooney leaving the club. So bringing someone in like Zlatan Ibrahimovic is fantastic for all involved. And I have got a video coming out tomorrow as well called 5 reasons why Zlatan Ibrahimovic signing is a great move for Man United. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. And of course, you've got your notifications switched on as well for when we do get another video or another live stream up. No problem, Tony. We top the group, says Rob. Yeah, if we don't top this group, you've got to be worried. Good group for us. I've been looking at this group and I was thinking, imagine if we got this group in the Europa League. Imagine if Manchester United got this group in the Europa League. Benfica, Basel, CSKA Moscow. You wouldn't be surprised and you wouldn't be worried. So why should we be worried about it in a Champions League? Now, Jose Mourinho has apparently targeted the last 8. And that would mean we should be able to progress from the group and top of the group as well, which would give us a favourable draw, depending obviously how the other draws go. But if we can't get 10 to 12 points from this group, then you have to be worried. OG says we should qualify. Can Zlatan be our Champions League striker, says Deepak. I don't think he will be our sole Champions League striker, but what he does do, he comes in and he brings that experience that Romelu Lukaku, Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial don't have in the Champions League. I know Martial's played a few games, but he's not majorly experienced in it. Can United win the Champions League, says WWE fan. Look, I'm not going to react to that based on our group. I think we can get through the group. I think we should get through the group. I think we'll be favourites to top the group, and rightly fucking so. But also, I'm not going to get overexcited. I'm not going to start making predictions in terms of who's going to win this competition. I think you look at the likes of Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Barcelona. They will, of course, be amongst the favourites. But if Manchester United were to draw someone like Bayern Munich or Juventus, I think we would go into it, you know, it would be difficult games, but I think we would go into it as much favourites as they are. I think the only teams that I think are much further ahead of us are Real Madrid and maybe even still Barcelona a little bit. Obviously, they've got Messi, who's a magician. So when you're looking at those sides, I don't think Manchester United should particularly fear anyone. Obviously, Real Madrid are much better, and I think they're the team to beat in the Champions League. But when you look at the way some of these groups have fallen, and you're looking at even the Monaco, Porto, Besiktas, RB Leipzig group, I couldn't predict that one either. So it's quite hard to predict the last 16. Although you would expect, you know, Sevilla, Liverpool to go through in their group, Chelsea, Madrid to go through in their group, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern to go through in their group, United and Benfica, Barcelona, Juve, Napoli and Man City. Even though you would expect those teams to go through, there will be a few shocks along the way. That I am quite sure of. So, look, the Champions League is back. Manchester United are in it. That's all that pretty much matters. But the fact that we've got, what I would call a favourable draw, a draw that you would be happy with in the Europa League. The fact that we've got that in our return to Champions League football is absolutely fantastic. And I'm really, really looking forward to the Champions League returning. Now, of course, you love those big games against Bayern Munich, the Juves, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas of this world. But we can wait for that in the following stages if we get through this group. But having looked at the group, we should get through it. Of course, there's the history in terms of against Benfica. We won our first ever European Cup when playing against Benfica, when we beat Eusebio's side. So there's obviously that historical context there as well. Basel helped knock us out of the Champions League. And we've had a few games against CSKA Moscow. So we have history against these sides, that's for sure. And it's not going to be as straightforward as everyone expects. And I'm sure there'll be a few bumps along the way. But Manchester United, Jose Mourinho, the players, the squad, the fans, everybody should be happy with this draw. We should all be happy with this draw. And hopefully Manchester United will do us justice and progress from this group as well. Anyway, guys, I told you it was going to be a quick stream. I do thank you all for getting involved. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to Adam McKola TV as well. We're so close to 40k, but we just can't quite get over the line at this moment. Aviral's saying it. Let's get Adam to 40k subs. So if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. And until next time, guys, I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here. But before I do go, tomorrow, you're going to have the 5 reasons video on Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You're going to have my Manchester United against Leicester City preview. And you're also going to have the Premier League preview as well. So it's going to be an action-packed day for you guys on youtube.com/Adam McKola. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you got your notifications on. And I'll see you tomorrow.